So my name is Ashwarya, and I'm currently doing the IES Spring 2015 semester in Buenos Aires. And along with my IES courses, I took one course at UBA, the Universidad de Buenos Aires. And that was a really interesting experience because I go to a private university in the US, so I wanted to kind of get the experience of going to a larger public university in a different country, just to get a better perspective on how the public education system is run on a university level in Argentina. And I noticed quite a few differences. First of all, the students are very socially active at UBA. That's something I noticed from the get-go. For example, every 5 or 10 minutes, there would be an interruption in the class. A student group would come in and talk about the work that they're doing and, try to get people to attend their events. And for the professors, this is totally normal. They're like, yeah, come in. And, students would talk for a few minutes. And then in 10 minutes, another group would come in. So that's something I'm not used to at my university in the US. The timing is very strict. The professor's time, the student's time is very precious, and they don't have distractions like this. And another thing is that my professor at UBA sometimes would just come in, 25, 30 minutes late, and we'd all be sitting there just waiting, because in the US, we have this rule where the professor doesn't show up after 15 minutes and the students have every right to leave. But at UBA, the professor shows up half an hour late, the students show up an hour late maybe. So it's all, it's a big adjustment. It was something I wasn't used to because I was always very on time, but now sometimes I show up 15, 20 minutes late. So I've kind of adopted the Argentine lifestyle in that, you don't have to be super on time to everything. And it was really great though, because I noticed at UBA, all the students, all the Argentine students were very willing to help the foreign exchange students, because there are a lot of differences in just how the classes run. For example, the readings, there's no online component, which is what you might have at your typical American university where, you can communicate with your professor and your other classmates online, all the readings are online. But at UBA, there's a fotocopiadora, so you have to go there to get the readings. You have to know exactly which units and which lessons that you need. And I absolutely was not familiar with that system when I first got there. So when the professor just said, oh yeah, it's at the fotocopiadora, just get it, I was totally lost. I had no idea where to go or what to do, but luckily the Argentine students were like, okay, I'll help you. And they taught me how it works, and that was really nice of them. I have to say I wasn't expecting that, and they're very, in my class specifically, there are quite a few foreign students, so it gives an interesting perspective to how the classes run. And that includes the professors. The professors were also very open. They told the Argentine students to include us in their groups so that we can get more acclimated to the system, I was very grateful for that, because I've heard some hit or miss things about how some professors react to having a bunch of Americans in their class. But I was lucky enough to have some really, really great professors, always willing to help. And, just the general culture at UBA, it's a little chaotic. It's really busy. The walls are just plastered with signs for different events and different groups. And that's kind of the charm of it. That's what was really interesting. There was always something going on. They're very politically active. This is an election year. So there are a lot of different campaigns and, student involvement and local politics, which I thought was really interesting. Another thing I wasn't used to at my university at home. So I definitely learned a lot from the students and just how they live their lives in this system, this public education system, which was really interesting. I'm so happy I took a class at UBA because my IES classes are very similar to how my classes run in the US. The grading system is very similar. The students are all American, obviously. So I'm glad I got this other dimension of my semester in Argentina. I think it really enriched the entire experience. So I definitely recommend, if you feel your Spanish is at a high enough level that you can understand a university level course and write essays and do readings, I highly recommend taking a partner university course. It's taught me so much about Buenos Aires, so much about Argentina, and I got to meet people my age that grew up in a totally different setting, and I've learned so much from that. So it's enhanced my entire semester, and I highly recommend it.